Congratulations on your new liquor license. This brief PowerPoint will explain the basic information you need to know in regards to holding a liquor license. Dual licensing. Any liquor licensee within the city of Aurora that is granted a license will be dual licensed. This means that they will have both a state-issued and a city-issued liquor license. The licensee will be subject to the enforcement of Colorado state liquor codes and rules and Aurora liquor codes. State liquor codes and rules can be found on the Colorado Liquor Enforcement's webpage. Aurora's liquor code can be found on the city webpage at www.auroragov.org. On-premise liquor licenses. An on-premise liquor license allows for the sale and serving of specific alcoholic drinks for consumption on site. These licenses include hotel and restaurant, lodging and entertainment, tavern, beer and wine, and brew pub liquor licenses. A business holding one of these types of licenses must also have food items on site and available for purchase at all times, and a percentage of gross sales must reflect food sales. Depending upon the type of license, food requirements can vary from full meal to sandwiches and light snacks. See the list below or refer to State Liquor Code for the food availability and sales requirements. Off-premise liquor licenses. An off-premise liquor license allows for the sale of specific types of liquor or fermented malt beverages for off-premise consumption. Retail liquor stores may sell spirituous, vinous, or fermented malt beverages for off-site consumption. Fermented malt beverage off-premise licensees may sell fermented malt beverage alcohol for off-site consumption. No consumption of alcohol is allowed on site. On-site includes, but is not limited to, the inside of the business and the sidewalk and/or parking lot area surrounding the business. It is the responsibility of the licensee to ensure that no alcohol is opened and/or consumed in these areas. Cabaret licenses. Licensees holding a hotel and restaurant, tavern, or lodging and entertainment liquor license may also apply for a cabaret license. This license is issued only by the City of Aurora and is subject to only Aurora code. A cabaret license is required if the business intends to provide live or DJ'd music and has a dance floor of at least 210 square feet. A business must have seating for a minimum of 60 patrons at all times and must have a full menu available during operating hours. All patrons must be over the age of 21 when the dance floor is in use. Patrons must remain seated at all times unless dancing or going to or from restrooms. Standing is prohibited. If the business is located near residential areas, conditional use must be granted by the Aurora Planning Department in order to operate past 12 a.m. This means all patrons must be gone from the business by 12 a.m. if conditional use has not been approved. Any business holding a cabaret license must also adhere to the Aurora noise ordinances. Zoning regulations. All liquor licenses are subject to the zoning regulations outlined by the Aurora Planning Division. If any business is found to be operating differently than the type of license held, they will be subject to the zoning requirements as how they are operating and not how they are licensed. For example, a restaurant licensee that is found to be operating as a tavern will be subject to the more stringent zoning requirements for a tavern and not a restaurant. If any business wishes to operate past the hour of midnight and abuts a residential neighborhood by 300 feet or less, conditional use to operate past midnight must be obtained from Aurora's planning department. A business wishing to provide after-hours entertainment, especially those offering live music or provide a nightclub-style experience, are subject to even more stringent zoning requirements, and the city will oppose any nightclub-style environment that is near a residential area. In summary, be a good neighbor to the businesses and residents surrounding your business. Operate your business as you would like to see neighboring businesses operate. Operate according to the code and zoning requirements. Keep noise levels to a minimum. Observe that your patrons are entering and exiting your business with minimal disturbances to your neighbors. Do not allow your patrons to loiter outside of your business. Keep the business frontage and parking lot clean of debris, whether it has come from your patrons or others. Special conditions. By holding a liquor license, licensees are subject to certain special conditions as outlined in state and city liquor codes and rules. It is the responsibility of the licensee or the registered manager to report any and all criminal activity and or disturbances at a licensed premise to the Aurora Police Department. A licensed business must file all sales tax returns and remit any sales tax held on time to the Aurora Tax Division and the Colorado Department of Revenue. Any business with cigarette sales must obtain a tobacco license from the State Tobacco Division. Cigarettes must be sold as full packs, and single cigarette sales are prohibited. A liquor license holder must also understand what is and isn't considered gambling. For example, any game of chance, such as those listed here, or other similar games that a person buys a chance at winning against the house or the machine, are strictly prohibited. Any game that has all three elements of risk, chance, and reward is considered gambling. However, social activities such as football pools are allowed. You may also hold free poker nights with prizes. Since poker nights are free to enter, there is no risk even though there is a chance and a reward. Coin pushers are considered gambling. For additional information, visit the Colorado Gaming website. In summary, failure to adhere to any of these conditions could result in violations against and/or revocation of a liquor license. Operational responsibilities of a liquor licensee. As a liquor license holder, it is up to the business owners and manager to ensure that all employees are trained properly to understand the requirements of alcohol service and sales. TIPS training is a valuable investment for your business, and it is recommended that all employees are TIPS trained prior to hiring. TIPS training is offered by several municipality and private entities. If you wish to not TIPS train staff, make it a policy to train your staff on the signs of overly intoxicated patrons and allow staff to review service to anyone. Any alcohol sold by the business must be purchased directly from a wholesaler or distributor. There is an annual allowance in the amount of $2,000 for retail purchases in emergency situations. As required by code, all businesses must maintain an accurate set of books and records reflecting the gross sales and purchases of food and alcohol. Also required by code, all books and records are subject to review by state or city licensing officials at any time. Books and records must be presented when requested. As mentioned before, the licensee is required to report all criminal activity and disturbances to the Aurora Police Department immediately. Overall, be a good neighbor to the businesses and residents surrounding your businesses. Operate your business as you would like to see neighboring businesses operate. Keep noise levels to a minimum. Observe that your patrons are entering and exiting your business with minimal disturbances to your neighbors. Do not allow your patrons to loiter outside your business. Keep the business frontage and parking lot clean of debris, whether it has come from your patrons or others. Do not sell drug paraphernalia. Most of all, do not overserve your patrons. Failure to adhere to any of these responsibilities could result in a violation against or revocation of the liquor license. Renewing a liquor license. Liquor licenses are valid for 1 year from the date of issuance. Both Aurora and state liquor licenses are renewed at the same time. Local and state licensing divisions will issue renewal notifications starting approximately 90 days prior to the expiration date. Aurora will notify the licensee via email, and the state will notify by mail with a paper renewal application. The state application will be completed by the licensee and then submitted to the City of Aurora for processing. Detailed instructions will be provided at the time of renewal. Once both local and state license renewals have been approved, both licenses will be issued electronically by the Aurora Licensing Division. Changes to a liquor license. Per state and city liquor codes, certain changes made to a liquor license must be reported to the local licensing authority. The most common changes are updates to the registered manager. This change must be reported within 5 days of the change to the local licensing authority. Any change to the ownership of the business, known as a change in corporate structure, are required to be reported. Any removal or addition of owners or members of the business must be reported. Any modification of the licensed premise, such as adding additional areas to the license or removing areas from an existing license, must be reported. A modification is subject to review and approval by the building and planning departments before the change can be approved. Questions about your liquor license. If at any time you have a question regarding your liquor license, please contact the Aurora Licensing Division by phone at 303-739-7057 or by email at liquor@auroragov.org.